Hello, people. It's Awakened Sheeple again. Um, I thought I would just explain a little bit about the healing thing that I had. For I was doing concrete work in Nebraska, and I just literally tore a bunch of muscles. And then I took some pain relievers, the over-the-counter stuff, your Tylenol or Advil or whatever, and just kept working it. And once the season was finally over and winter set in, I realized there was a serious problem in my back. And it went away long enough that I was able to go back to work. But as soon as I went back to work, it started coming back and it got worse and worse and worse. And I finished out the whole summer and into the winter again. But when it was done, man, it was done. And that's when my whole transformation started, 2010. Um, Came home from work that last day and just told the Lord, I need change. I need change. And I sat there and I cried and told him, I need change. I need change. And oh boy, my girlfriend came home that night and said, you need to go fishing and go fishing. And so took off the next day and never went home. So that was change. And that's when I met my wife. So I went out shoveling snow just this last winter and just did something, too much work to it or whatever, and it re-aggravated it, and it got worse and worse and worse, and it just went into these big knots. It felt like there was a bone spur. So, I go over to my families or whatever, and they're all like, you need to go to the hospital, you need to go to the hospital. And my wife at the time was trying to sign me up for insurance, and I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital, you know. You're lucky I took you to the hospital every single injection, every single appointment, every test, every radiation, all that, every single one. I took her to there, but I didn't want to go inside. I would go and take her inside, take her to the room or whatever, and then usually leave. Come back, walk her out, but I'm not going to stay in the hospital. There's no need for that place. Um, well, there's a need, but if you've got tenacious faith, he'll heal you himself. And the funny thing is they kept going on and on and on about how I needed to go to the hospital. And when the Lord healed me, they didn't even realize it. I was like, did you not notice anything different about me? Because it's been about a month or so, and the pain slowly went away. And one day he told me to quit taking the painkillers. So I was taking painkillers to make the pain go away. And just heard that voice, hey, you got faith? And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, yeah, I got faith. And put the painkillers down, and I'll take the pain away, and I'll make it better for you. And a couple days later, the pain went away. Simple as that. But I got to tell you that I prayed on it for well over a month, and I did not pray for like a weekend warrior. I prayed continually, like continually. And I'll tell you what, sometimes I was praying so hard some days that I prayed even in my sleep. It was weird, straight weird. And then right after that, I started, the white haired old preachers would come in and start talking to us. There was a whole group of us, and we're all sitting around listening to a white haired preacher. So, Bride of Christ, even if you don't realize it, even if you don't remember it, you're not one to remember dreams, either am I, but for some reason I remember these ones. Um, you were in the same group. You're in the same group with me. You were in the same group. I've never met you yet. I mean, we didn't get to sit around and talk. We all show up. He walks in and speaks, and he doesn't stop. And he speaks and doesn't stop. And it was, a good solid 6 to 7 hours. And this happens more than once. So whether you know it or not, you're being instructed. And I've been there and I've heard the instructions. He says they're sealed. So they're sealed until the day he comes back. And in that's kind of funny because people are waiting for him to come back. He's already here. He's in you. That is if you are praying continually, you're staying clean, you will wear the mind or the image of Christ. It's as simple as that. And the crack in the sky and that stuff, I've heard that too, and it's real. It's real. You better be found waiting for him when he calls, because he's going to call. He's inside you and he's going to call, and if you're ready, you get to go. And I know we're all looking forward to it. I've seen Thanksgiving, but I have not seen Christmas. I've seen the decorations, the lights, but I haven't seen anything past it, except for like prophecy. So God bless each and every single one of you. I hope this helps somebody.